Hey, what up, pimp? This is Max, and today we're going to talk about how to make a DIY wireless follow focus. If you are a filmmaker, you probably have a crane or a steadicam, which means you have a problem that you are not able to control focus. This problem is solved by wireless follow focus, which in fact is pretty expensive. It costs around $800 for a cheap Chinese thing. So now, together, we're going to do a DIY wireless follow focus for $80. 80 bucks, yes. This follow focus is so easy, an 8 years old can build it. It's also mounted on a standard rods and a cold shoe and powered by 4 AA batteries. Isn't it great? And this is how it's going to look like. It's a simple RC controller. You can buy it in any RC shop. The servo is mounted on rods, standard rod clamps, and the battery with the receiver is mounted on a standard hot shoe or cold shoe, however you call it. So now let's do some shopping. First, we need to buy an RC controller with the receiver. You can buy it in any RC shop. Just get a cheap Chinese thing or order on eBay. It cost me around 40 bucks. Later, get a 0.8 pitch gear. You can find it on eBay. I provide the link below. Also, get a 4 AA battery pack. Get a 90mm rod clamp. And last but not the least, a duct tape. In fact, many types of duct tape. In order to control a wireless follow focus, we're going to use this fancy RC controller. But the problem with that is that it swings back and forth by default. So what we need to do, we need to go, take it apart, and take off the spring that makes it bounce. All right, let's do it. So what we have here, in here, we should have a spring, something like that one, and we need to take it off. So just go out, find it, because I already removed mine. You might, if you don't find it, you might want to remove these 2 little screws. So after you remove it, now the follow focus is free. The knob is rotating freely, but it's rotating too freely. It doesn't have any friction, so it's very easy to accidentally move it, and it's not convenient. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove this and put a piece of a double tape, a thin piece of this kind of double tape right here. And we're going to keep it like that. So what it does, when you put it back, it creates a tension. Get your motor. We will put a wireless receiver and a battery pack. Let's set up the servo motor, the wireless thing, and the power to power it all. What we need to do is connect the power bank, make sure it has an on and off switch, connect it by binding the wires with the wireless remote. And make sure you put the wire, you might not see it from here, but it's called channel 3. Yep. So if it's power turned on, you will see the red light is blinking. Then plug in the servo motor into the channel number 2. If everything done correctly, the motor will start working. We're almost there, so that's how the setup looks. Plug the wheel to the servo. How are we going to do that? With the servo, here comes this little thing. You plug it in, and then use a duct tape, like double-sided tape, to plug the motor in. Just make sure it's right in the middle. And in any RC shop, you can find this little screw to screw the gear in place, and use the wrench. Here you go. Very simple. Now it's binded with a servo. Now you need to mount it on rods. I already did that, and I'm not going to show it again. This process is very straightforward. You purchase these rods, then you use 2 layers of tape to bind it together, and you wrap it up with a duct tape to make it stable. So now it's nicely binded within the standard rods, and guess what? Now you can mount it to rods here. Now what we're going to do with this? As I mentioned before, I duct tape it to the hot shoe, and where everything is a house. Put a cover on top of it and simply duct tape the whole thing like this. So now it's not the most beautiful thing, but well, you can make it nice. I just don't have the right aesthetics for that. And then voila, here we have our 5D Mark III as our test pet. We mount it on a hot shoe, and let's hope that and we mount this to rods. In order to adjust the follow focus, you need to put it on infinity first. Then you need to make sure that your follow focus, where is the plate? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yes, that was a confession. All right, let's put it to the end, and okay, make sure you put this to the end as well as the focus to infinity. Then you lock it up, and voila, you can move it fast. You can move it slow, and for comfort you can put a white tape on top of it, and what is that, the measurement or something? I don't know how to say it in English, and put the focus marks. So now with these simple steps you can build a wireless follow focus, and now we're going to test it with a nice model on a steadicam. And this is it for wireless follow focus for $80. If you have any questions, think first, and if you still don't know the answer, then comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. But I know you will forget anyway, so just goodbye, go away, just disappear, go, just I'm getting out of here.